If you've never cared about sports, and not even a little, there's actually a psychological reason behind it. And it's not what most people assume. Millions of people are emotionally invested in games, teams, and rivalries. They live for match days. They feel genuine pain when their team loses. And then there are people who feel nothing. No excitement, no investment. They're not pretending. They genuinely just don't care. For a long time, that was treated like something was off about them. But psychology tells a completely different story. The first reason comes down to how your brain is wired. Psychologists call it reward sensitivity, how strongly your brain responds to certain types of stimulation. For sports fans, competition, unpredictability, and team identity create a real emotional reward. Their brain lights up. It feels exciting almost automatically. But for others, those same things don't trigger the same response. It's not a choice. It's not an attitude. Their brain simply doesn't register sports as meaningful, the same way your brain might not find something else interesting that other people are obsessed with. Different brains, different rewards. That's it. The second reason is about identity and where you look for belonging. Social psychology has shown that people connect with groups to build a sense of who they are. Sports teams are one of the most common ways that happens. Supporting a team creates a shared identity, an us that bonds people together. But not everyone builds their sense of self through group affiliation. Some people find identity in ideas and creativity and individual work. For them, attaching their emotions to a team they don't play for, in a game they didn't influence, genuinely doesn't make sense. Not because they're cold, because their belonging comes from somewhere else. Number third, it often goes back to childhood. Most strong interests form early. People who grew up in homes where sports were on every weekend, where games were family events, where a team's win or loss actually mattered, they built an emotional connection to sports before they even realized it. But if sports weren't part of your environment growing up, your brain simply never built that association. And as an adult, you don't feel like you're missing anything, because to you, you're not. Fourth, some minds are drawn to different kinds of complexity. Sports involve real strategy, real skill, real decision-making under pressure. But for people who are naturally drawn to abstract thinking, science, philosophy, psychology, creative work, sports can feel repetitive or surface level even when they're not. It's not about intelligence. It's about cognitive preference. Different minds are attracted to different types of engagement. Some people want to analyze a game, others want to analyze an idea. Neither is wrong. Fifth, the emotional experience itself doesn't appeal to everyone. Sports are emotionally intense. One minute you're up, the next you're crushed, and you had no control over any of it. For a lot of people, that roller coaster is the whole point. The uncertainty is what makes it exciting. But for others, that same experience feels draining. Research on emotional regulation shows that some people actively avoid situations with unpredictable emotional highs and lows. They'd rather invest their energy in something where the outcome feels more within their control. That's not emotional weakness. That's just a different relationship with how emotions feel. And the last reason might be the most interesting one. Studies in personality psychology show that people who are less influenced by social pressure are more likely to step away from widely accepted interests. Sports are one of the most globally shared forms of entertainment. Not engaging with them, especially when everyone around you does, takes a certain kind of independence. For some people, not caring about sports isn't a gap. It's actually a reflection of how independently they think. Quick pause. If any of this is making you think about someone you know, or even yourself, drop a comment below. Seriously, I read them. And if you're finding this useful, hit like. It helps more than you'd think. Close. The part that actually matters. Not caring about sports doesn't mean someone lacks passion. It doesn't mean they're disconnected or antisocial or missing out on life. It means their energy is going somewhere else. Into music, technology, business, relationships, creative work, whatever genuinely stimulates their mind. Human behavior is shaped by personality, environment, and how our brains are wired. Sports are just one of many ways people choose to engage with the world. Not caring about them doesn't make you less, it just makes you different. And psychologically speaking, that's completely valid.